right, welcome back to another episode of House Battle Millionaires Edition. Very excited about it. We're going over $1 million today. We're looking at $7.9 million. Chicago, Illinois, Houston, Texas, the battle of the middle of the United States of America. Very excited about it. We got a special guest today. My older brother, he's here to check these out, help us decide where are we spending our $8 million. We're going to start in Chicago, up north, $7.9 million, 6 beds, 10 baths, 10,000 square feet. Curb appeal. What do you got?
Well, I got to tell you what, from a curb appeal standpoint, right off the bat, you got the big buildings in the background, and this house, absolutely looks like it belongs amongst them. It's not like this, you shove this house into an area that makes it look smaller. It still looks big, even with those huge buildings behind it. I guess it is a big city, and I've never lived in a big city, but the courtyardy fenced in bushes thing. I don't know what else you do in Chicago for a yard. I really don't. So I'm naive right there, but it looks cool.
I don't know if that part is actually part of your property, I think is the issue. I think that might be the actual walkway, because this is in downtown Chicago. So right. I don't know if that's your property line, which is something, because this, for me, that, and then the entrance, it makes it look like an office building. Where you go down and something it took me a second to remember when I saw this again, that this isn't a condo, this is a standalone house, because it literally looks like a condo entryway in a condo building where each floor is going to be a different condo.
Yeah.
I agree with your statement, by the way, that this thing looks like it fits, which is difficult to do. I totally agree. But if you just focus on it, I hate the outside of this house. The way this looks. I don't like that it's a box with a circle thing there with a silo next to it. I don't like this little, I don't even know, this sort of porch in area in the front here makes it look very short. And then it's sort of, you lose that sort of second story window there. There's a lot I don't like about this, but I will say, to your point, this does fit in the city, and that is very, very hard to pull off. We've seen some other ones in downtown cities that do not look like that. They look like they came out of absolutely nowhere. So that's a big, big bonus point for them. I thought you were gonna complain about how the house has one house and then it has a little top half. That's completely different. I didn't even want to comment on that yet, because I was honestly hoping that wasn't part of it. I was hoping it was like some building in the back. Because yes, I definitely hate that. This is a legitimate hotel. This just looks like a hotel.
That's what I was just going to say. This is
really,
this is the entrance way to uppity 20-room boutique hotel is what that is. It's really classy. Okay. It's clean lines, but it's
very, very clean lines. Very clean lines.
And I like how they've decorated. It's very contemporary, but it's a little too antiseptic for me. It's a little.
Yeah, I was going to say, does it look like a place you'd sit, though?
Here's my question.
It doesn't scream comfortable.
If you were sitting, let's even assume that those seats are comfortable. I don't think they are. But let's assume they are. And you're sitting there, and you're having a cocktail at some sort of soiree, because they don't throw parties here. If you're sitting in this chair, how loud is that piano that is directly next to your ear?
Behind your head. Yeah.
That is the worst possible place to stick a piano that I guarantee somebody plays at some point while people are inside this room.
Yeah.
It's very fancy, don't get me wrong, but look how big this furniture is. This has got to be a big room. This furniture looks massive, and yet the room feels like you have no room. It's overstuffed. It's overstuffed. They have not designed this well.
No.
Again, like you said, it is classy. It's very classy here. They've got a nice bay window. People like that.
That room right there is super interesting to me. You just shove this side room with a fireplace. And although I'm assuming that view must be kind of cool because it's downtown.
Yeah.
But then again, do you want floor to ceiling windows right in downtown where any homeless person is just gonna, claw up into your window and just stare at you while you're sitting there looking at your fireplace? I don't know.
Is this the second floor? I have to think this is the second floor, right?
I don't know. I think that this is like
I think it is because
it is?
No, because where that piano was, it had those bay windows. Yeah. And if you look on the very first picture,
but I think
the bay window doesn't go all the way down.
Yeah.
It starts. So that's another thing I hated.
That main floor was just a table and a staircase up.
I think there might have been some other room down there, but yeah, pretty much it was like you're here and then you got to go up.
So I'm good with the floor to ceiling windows
staging, because I think if it was an office off of this, you would be like, oh, this makes more sense. But they obviously are throwing parties, so you can't have like your office off of your piano room. Because if you rearranged it would make sense. But I also feel like it could have been a library. Had they made it like a library with a bunch of bookshelves, this would have been a cool rich person thing to have.
Yeah,
the room is cool.
Or like, or even
cool.
if you're gonna go this direction, then put in like a humidor or like a wine refrigerator.
Like a smoking room.
I thought it was. Yeah. This would be a gentleman's room. Something like that, like whatever you want to call it, with a leather chair, you get a cigar, you get some whiskey, something like that in there. The room itself was cool, but you were 100% right. Get rid of that furniture. It was like the furniture didn't fit. I don't know what's happening in this room again.
So I think this is the room that you walk. The next room you walk in.
Okay. I don't care for the way this is set up. If you, you could move it a little bit.
There's no windows.
No, I don't like this at all. Well, no, there is one tiny little window that you can't see anything out of.
But if you're the guy sitting with your back to the window, anyway.
It's not even a room. It looks like it's set up with a dry bar over there. But this looks like
this is a poker room, right? Like you're here just to play poker.
Right.
Honestly, like that's all you can do in this room.
But it's also one that you would find in like a $1 million house. This is not what I'm expecting from an $8 million house.
No, this isn't fancy.
I agree with you. Okay, so boom. So there's your $8 million kitchen for sure.
Yep. This
looks
what
like
I was going to say is
a restaurant.
I'm starting to get tired of all of the French decorations.
A lot of French.
Everything on the wall is in French or a picture of somewhere in France. Really starting to weigh on me.
It's
a lot of French. We're in Chicago here.
Yeah, they're really narrowing. They are really narrowing their amount. It's rich French people.
Wow. So that's a wolf range right there, dude. If that's not a wolf range, then I'm gonna be shocked. But that is, just that section of the kitchen alone right there costs $85,000, $100,000 for just that section of the kitchen.
Now here's what I will say. I don't know what wood they use for those cabinets over there. I hate those cabinets. I legitimately I am repulsed by those cabinets.
By everything the darkness?
Else in this, everything else.
No, if you're gonna go like with this contemporary and stainless steel over here, you don't go old school,
which is carried over on.
And then also mixing just solid wood with wood in the glass enclosured in there. I don't like that. All of it. You just get rid of that. Just get rid of it. Whatever. But the rest of this kitchen
is there are 4 different colors of cabinets in this room. Is what?
100%. Whoever did this is probably colorblind or just playing a trick on somebody with $8 million and said, let's see if I can get away with it.
I will tell you what, though.
I'm also hating the flooring with the cabinets in here.
Yeah, you go with the herringbone flooring. Yep. You go with 4 different styles of cabinet.
Yep.
I will tell you what, though. You could have a sleepover in that refrigerator.
100%.
So that's pretty cool.
100%. Now here's my question.
Yeah.
Here's my question. I'm not a chef. Okay. What are your thoughts on having all of your condiments that you might use to prepare your meals on the other side of I'm assuming, very consistent open flames that you can get on that really expensive.
Yeah, no, the functionality, although with that window right there, I don't know where the hell else you would have put it, but it looks like it's a good 40 feet from the stove.
It's so far, and you have to lean over.
They have a little cutout off to the left. They could have, if they wanted to have like an exposed look, they could have put them all up there, because it is like aesthetically, it's a cool thing to. It's a way to have like an open concept.
It looks awesome right here.
Cool.
It looks awesome, but turn those bad boys on, and you are lighting yourself on fire while you're trying to get a little hot sauce in whatever it is that you're trying to. I
do like all the windows over here.
I do as well.
Next to the table. That's
the only problem is though, so I'm not seeing any kind of covering though. So people are staring at you while you're eating dinner, regardless of whether you want them to or not. Like I don't see any type of covering whatsoever.
Now here's my question. When we look at stuff like this, I have to assume, and I don't even know if it's a real thing. Honestly, I have no idea, but I have to assume that if you have no coverings and you're dropping $8 million on the house, that there is some button somewhere that you can press and it's going to frost that glass for you or something like that. Because otherwise you're 100% right. That's so many windows. Like sometimes I just don't want to see stuff. You know what I mean? Like I just don't want to see things, or I don't want people to see me. And I don't want to be out there putting newspaper up in my expensive mansion. What do you think about having a fireplace in your kitchen? Is that maybe the epitome of being rich? Is that like the ultimate rich person touch? Is to have a fireplace inside of there? That's classic.
Can I pause game real quick?
Yeah.
I came up here with my laptop fully charged, and now it's telling me it's about to die. So I've got to run downstairs real quick and grab my.
This is live. Right.
It's live. We'll talk. Well, man, we'll talk about
real world problems, people.
100%. We'll talk about some stuff.
What I like about this is this kitchen area is so large that if you did have kids, you literally could keep your kids in your kitchen with your cook and with your personal chef, and it would all be right there.
This is my last one. That's my family yelling at me. For all of those that are tuning in, my family screaming at me. They'll be on the next episode. It's called Things That Ryan Doesn't Do Well. That'll be the next episode.
Fantastic. Looking forward to that, man. I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be awesome. It's I agree with you. This is nice. Let's hop through here.
Yeah.
We'll skip a couple of these pictures. This is nice. This is right off your kitchen.
This is nice.
This is a deck.
That is really nice.
This is what you're talking about. I mean, this looks like a bar. This looks like an outdoor bar, like a patio and an outdoor bar. This is unbelievable.
That better be a kitchen over there.
I believe
it must be. It is fully functional, but I did want to point out really quickly that it looks like this is at first glance that the trellis didn't have coverings, but if you see, the coverings go in and out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
which is nice, because normally you're like, why else do you have that?
Yeah. They basically
and especially in Chicago, I'm assuming rain. It rains a lot, so you want to have some kind of covering out there somewhere.
100%,
yeah, but you don't want them out, because when the snow comes, I mean, you're talking feet.
It'll tear them down.
It's so good feature.
Yeah, no, this is really nice. I mean, this is
really badass, actually.
Yeah, the outside, this is obviously part of what you're paying for right here. I mean, obviously the rest of it's nice, but I mean, this is your $8 million deck.
Yeah.
Wow. Huge master here. Huge master. I like this a lot. I like the little sitting area. So this must be third floor in that silo right there. That's a nice touch.
Absolutely.
This is fantastic from a size standpoint. You know what I mean? Like this is fantastic.
There's some more
French stuff. I don't like this. I don't care for this wood monstrosity in here. It doesn't go with anything else in this room. If you took that out and replaced it with something or nothing at all, this is a great room. I really like this room. This room is fantastic.
Wow. The big walk-through closet. This is going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm. This is whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now here's a question I have for you. Is it maybe the poorest person thing that we've ever seen on a multi-million-dollar home to have these ridiculous blinds in this unbelievable bathroom?
It is.
Yeah.
That is the cheapest look that I've ever seen on a house like this.
Where you buy the frosting windows for
Yeah,
your bathroom.
100%.
And the thing 100%. Of this is all those windows are directly facing your shower. So it's not just that you have to open and shut those if you want to take a bath. You have to do it anytime you're in there. I mean, hopefully you're paying someone to do this for you, but at this price point,
you got the guy coming in every day to just see. That's his whole job. He just comes in, he flips them up and down,
closes blind,
and then he goes home.
I do really like how the sinks are completely separate, though.
Oh, they couldn't be farther apart.
But the part that I think is weird is it's almost like they're too small. Like they could have, like you can fit two next to each other. And I realized the door is there. And I think they did it because this side isn't as large. But even on this side, I feel like it could have came out to the door and it wouldn't have looked so like you stuffed both in the corner.
Not only that, though, if I'm being honest, I mean, if you're going to have that big of a grand, like this is a big bathroom. And the centerpiece of this bathroom when you walk in is that bathtub. And it's super underwhelming and it's not very big either.
Is it super narrow or is it just me? Like that? And maybe it's not. Maybe maybe the room is just so big that like I can't get it.
I think it's fairly narrow.
I think you lose
just you.
You lose the bench because I don't need a bench right next to my bathtub.
No, absolutely not.
Make that. Yeah, I mean, you could do so much more with that bathtub, but
100%.
Whatever.
I think this is where, if in an $8 million house, you're expecting a clawfoot, like a modern, really nice clawfoot tub, and they went with this. It was interesting.
Like you walk in and the bathtub is like, bah, there I am. Not. It looks like it was an afterthought.
This looks like a jacuzzi in a hotel that you got really excited was an add-on on your field trip in 8th grade. That's what what reminds me is you were the one that got the really cool room on the field trip.
Ooh, that's pretty bad.
I mean, it's a big shower. It's a nice shower.
Is that a
However,
TV?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it is a TV. Yeah. The one thing I don't like about it, though, and this is just a personal preference of mine, but if you're gonna go big shower like this is a huge shower.
Yeah.
I think you got to have the rain shower head coming out of the top.
In the middle.
Yep.
In the middle.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Because why not?
Are those like little things? Are those the rain though?
I think those are speakers, actually.
Yeah, I think it's speakers. I think it's speakers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
They decided, functionality, whatever, but we're going to put a 7.1 surround and a TV in our shower.
We're going to put a couple of 12s in there, and we will
subwoofer probably underneath the bench.
This is
a rich person closet right here. I mean,
this is an incredible closet, and yet I don't understand why they went two different colors. Is that a his and hers color scheme on the wood?
I think so, but this looks.
I don't like that because they don't go together.
I think it's trying to do that, right?
But they don't go together at all.
No.
Why isn't it all white?
Terrible.
Because it would look really cool if it was all white and had those windows and then the lighting on there. I think that by the way, that's a super rich person touch that we haven't seen before. That's a
light up.
Thing. Yes. But by the way, last week we saw what did we have last week? 3 different houses that had jacuzzis in them, and they weren't all $1 million houses.
Yeah.
By the way. Oh yeah, saunas.
Yeah,
like built in.
Nice
like you remember? Yeah. I mean, you remember the Beaver Village stuff. I'm talking one of those in 3 different houses, and they weren't all over $1 million.
Wow.
But this is and that was the first time we'd never seen any, and then we saw 3 in a row. This is the first time I've ever seen this light up stuff here. That is the fanciest. That straight up screams money. That screams money more than anything else in this house. Yeah. I love that. And they should have done that with all the other cabinets. This is an awesome TV room. I like that it's sparse. I like that they just went, we're normal people. We like to watch TV. We have a big one. Here's a couple chairs. That's all we need.
Yeah. However, I will add that you've got 2 chairs why nobody can see the television from either of those chairs.
I've never understood that. I've never understood that.
Why are we going to put we're going to put a chair. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, if this is kind of like a movie room, even if it's supposed to be loungy, where you can also have a cocktail, just make those chairs more of like a full-on movie lounge chairs in this room too. For the price point.
I agree. There's
no place.
Let's keep.
Oh, there we go. There's the library. There it is.
There's your library. That's a rich person touch. And honestly,
Absolutely.
It looks awesome. It looks awesome.
Absolutely.
It does.
This looks really cool. I wish they would have continued those on that back wall. I think that would have looked even better. But that's how you decorate. That's how you decorate shelves with books. Right there. It's a lot of color.
I think
cool.
Pop in all those things.
You could have organized it better. I'm a little surprised they haven't had an organizer in to make these books look like phenomenal. But sure.
But you know what I think is a cool touch that might not be included in the brochure is, I bet you when you open those cabinets, they have a legit Rolodex with the Dewey Decimal System, where you find your books per shelf
100%.
and all that kind of stuff.
100%. They're probably
going
to
really nice
somewhere
feature.
else.
Oh, this looks like these are horrible. Other than the skylight, I don't know why you include these.
I'm not sure why you showed that first one. That was weird. It was.
Now we're Japanese or Chinese or Vietnamese.
Yep,
decorating.
we are. I think that's Chinese. I believe that's Chinese.
Especially with the red, it would make sense.
This is not a great. It's a big room, very functional, whatever. Like you could do some stuff, but they did not maximize this at all. I do not care for this.
Oh,
do not care for this at all. I hate everything about this. I don't like I don't understand what happened. I hate it.
Look, here's the thing. When you go to the bathroom, let's be honest. You don't want it to be the most uncomfortable thing that you're doing.
No,
you want it to be somewhat comfortable. Who's going to fit on that toilet? You know, if you're bigger than 5'5", you're not fitting on that toilet.
No, very few people. It's too modern. I don't like that. It's too clean. It's too clean. I don't like anything that's happening there.
Yeah, no.
It's not great. This is, this is a fine room. Like this, okay, yeah, it's great. It's fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
But I got to tell you what, man. If I'm spending $8 million on a house and my bedroom looks like this, I'm gonna be really pissed off.
I'd be super pissed if my parents, it's like my parents are doing it. They were like, "Yeah, you can have this room." I'd be like,
"Come on over to my house." Oh, don't your parents live in an $8 million house? Yeah, you should see my bedroom. It's 10 by 10. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And they chose this awful rug for me that apparently I can't get rid of because I can't lift it.
So this is the thing I'm starting to notice with the bathrooms is all of the counters, the vanities are floating.
They're floating.
Even in that last bathroom we saw, they're not to the floor. They're all floating.
I don't understand why they've gone with the ultra modern look in those, whereas the other one is like all the rest of the rooms have been modern, but they've been the sort of not a futuristic modern, right? But these two bathrooms have been very
more traditional modern, whereas this is like minimalist modern.
I don't like this at all. This
like
is an
even
interesting
the way this is designed is a very traditional.
Yeah, but once again,
I like this room.
It's an interesting room.
But you're sharing this room with your sibling.
If you're one of the kids, you got to be super pissed. But
anyway.
I like what they've done with it though. I mean, this is what I sort of expect with the rest of the house. Like this is a very nice, it's clean, it's done well. This is the kind of thing you can do with a house like this. Which they haven't nailed in every room. That's been the problem.
Well,
and you're going to go to this bathroom here and it's going to be another futuristic one, and I don't care for the futuristic. I don't think it looks good.
See how it's floating again?
Yeah, it feels
that whole
like
thing is floating.
It starts to feel like corporate, right? It starts to feel corporate America, very much. This is an office building.
Well, yeah, and the trough sink there. So you got two faucets coming out with a huge trough sink. That screams, basketball, football game to me.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, and then this.
This is.
I will say this looks like a bedroom of a little rich girl.
Oh, yeah, it does, but
it has like 100%. The charm that you would expect little rich kids to have.
Yep.
I mean, that light fixture alone was probably $20,000. So
I don't know which light fixture, but yeah.
Well, all of them.
Yeah.
I think they were all.
Once again, how do you get into the closet on the back? Unless the angle is just weird, but apparently we have.
Oh no. You're definitely not in that bad boy. That's just for show. Honestly, there might not even be anything behind that door.
Right.
There literally might not be any
doors right there.
Yeah, they were just like, you know what? Like, let's just leave it.
Once again, the floating vanity.
This is
weird though. This matches none of the rest of the bathrooms. This is weird.
I know.
And for little kids, I'm assuming this is for the little kids.
It's got to be for the girl. Yeah.
This is terrible. I would not. Anyway,
the ring around the mirror is I actually don't hate that. It doesn't go with this room. It doesn't really go with anything else, but I actually don't hate that part of it.
I think that is great for putting on makeup, and I wish every single
that's fair.
year had that. That would be amazing.
Not
I mean,
something,
that's literally like
not
getting ready in front of a ring light, which is every little girl's dream.
Here's something else I don't like about this bathroom is the toilet paper is vertical.
Why? What is happening? What is happening with this toilet paper? Here's the thing. You rip off too much. That's hanging down. Now you got to pull it up. And if you're going to do it, I mean, you're twisting and pulling that bad boy in at the same time. This isn't just a twist situation. This is a two-hand job. You know what I mean? Like that's a real risk that you're running there, especially with a little girl.
Right.
This is,
you nailed it here.
100% exactly what you should do. And for the billionth time on this show, why are lights hung so close to where people's heads are going to be? I have never understood it. I hate it every time I see it. It looks like you have 1.5 feet above this room. I know it's not true, but it looks like you have taken this giant ceiling and collapsed it down to you have to hunch over in order to shoot pool. It's that makes no sense.
I'll tell you what though, Poe, they're a Duke Blue Devil fan. So
they are Duke Blue Devil fans.
Which is interesting because those pillows don't match the room.
Well, they don't match. They don't match anything at all.
No.
I don't understand what's happening, but this is, I mean, this is nice. It got the, got the bar. I mean, this is
look at that too. You got the marble ceiling right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and you actually have top and bottom shelf. I mean, that's unbelievable.
And it's a full bar. It has beer on tap.
It's even got a tap
I don't think
with a couple handles on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's 3 handles coming off of there. Yeah.
I mean,
this TVs in the same room.
Yeah, this is a statement room. This is part of your statement room here.
Oh wow, yeah, dude, that's super classy. And an elevator.
You got an elevator. Why not? Why not have one?
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do, especially if you're dropping $8 million at some point. You're just gonna run out of money.
Oh wow.
This is the nicest mudroom I've ever seen.
Yeah. You walk in from the door, and this is where you walk all the way in, and then
I like this a lot. I like this a lot. This is
and there's
it's just kind of a throwaway
too. Yeah,
sort of a throwaway.
Yeah, so
but
you have your fancy
entrance,
room, and then you have your. I just got home from school, throwing myself on the
where
ground.
Your kids and your nanny. Your nanny walks through that door. Your nanny does not go through that front door.
Fact. No, we don't want people seeing that.
Fact. I don't know what's happening here.
Right, we should include a picture of the longest hallway in our house.
All right, so
I mean, a little garden
area.
This is what you do with the Chicago yard. I guess I don't know what else you do. You don't want to own a lawnmower in this house. So I mean, I guess for what it's. Oh, you have a virtual golf room. Okay.
Yeah. All right. This is awesome. This is awesome. I don't even like golf, and this is awesome. Yeah. I mean, this is very cool. I like this quite a bit.
The one thing that cracks me up is the chairs. So you've got chairs sitting close to the screen with your back to the guy that's swinging a club that may or may not slice one off into the back of your head while you're watching somebody else on the putting surface. So,
100%. 100%. I like this room a lot. I mean, this room it's very cool. It's also weird that you have the TV, so like you're going to be super uncomfortable watching the television in these two chairs.
Exactly.
We couldn't figure anything out there. But I mean, this is unbelievable. This is fantastic. This is the first one of these that we've seen for sure. So I like that. So all right, I think that's it. That was Chicago. That was Chicago. It was downtown Chicago.
Ooh, and they have a 27-foot attic. Oh my Lord.
That is the world's biggest attic. So we've seen
That's where the nanny lives.
We've seen Chicago. There it is. So let's hop down into Houston, Texas. Let's see what's going on. We've got $7.9 million, 6 beds, 11 baths, 13,800 square feet. This thing is massive. Is this a River Oaks property?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is nice. So this is swanky of the swankiest. This is fantastic. Curb appeal. What do you got?
Well, for me, if I'm being completely honest, it screams to me a little bit of Michael Jackson's Neverland, which really just immediately creeps me out. I mean, that's the way the front of the house is. But if you can get past that, I really like.
I don't know if I can now that I know.
Yeah. It looks like I like how they've laid out the like a almost quasi courtyard thing, but they still have a yard. So if you actually wanted to get out front and throw a football or a baseball around, you could do that.
Yeah.
I like the entryway. I think it says, mansion on the front of this thing with the big, carved in columns and the grand entrance with the double doors, the huge carriage lights up there. A curb appeal is pretty solid. I like this.
Yeah, no, I agree. You don't like it. You're not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, for like $8 million, this isn't really doing very much for me, but it looks nice. It has a very manicured lawn. I don't think that anyone is allowed to step on that grass. I really doubt that they are not allowed to play football on that grass. I don't think I think it's like Texas A&M where they have a sign that you're not allowed to walk on the grass. And if you do that, you're going to get kicked out of the household, even as a biological child. But I do think that the lights, and I'm sure it's a real flame on those two lights. This house, I'm sure, looks amazing at night. With the light stone and like this and all the nice grass, I bet it looks amazing at night.
Yeah, I got to agree. This is a rich person house. I mean, you look at it, you see it. We've seen houses that cost about this much money that don't look rich. This is grand. You're getting it here. You've got tons of trees around. It's pretty private, all that stuff. Yeah. So let's hop.
And I think
just a massive front yard.
Yeah.
I mean, massive.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The only thing I would change is the little. I would have put a fountain in. If I'm going to do a rich person house, I'd put a fountain 100%. In right up there.
100%. I agree. So hop inside here. Interior design. You walk inside. This is what you see. What are your thoughts? Love this painting. Love this painting, by the way. My favorite thing that I've seen so far.
Of course, it's also of I believe it's a French military officer.
I think that's correct.
Apparently, if you build a house that's cost more than $7 million, you have to have some type of French art in the house.
Parisian or bust. Yeah.
I don't understand why you have a table with this like tablecloth.
It looks like a sort of a fortune teller.
That's the only thing
like a tarot card reader.
Also, this house is just way too busy.
Yeah, this hallway here looks like
it is
a lot.
It is costing my senses.
Oh Lord! Oh.
Wow,
that is just. You want to scream rich person? I mean, it looks horrible. I hate it. But oh my Lord!
Yeah.
I mean, that screams rich. I have more money than I know what to do with.
100%.
You've got like ivory handled chairs, and
this is amazing. I don't like any of this. I mean, this looks uncomfortable. I don't even think you can sit on these couches.
I don't think once again with the lawn, you're not allowed to sit in this room.
No, they're going to disintegrate immediately.
You can't do anything. But I bet this room costs more than I've ever made in my entire life combined.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I think that table.
Oh, it probably did. That's an expensive looking table. I don't make a lot of money. So
and then they have this piano off to the side that looks like it has very custom woodwork done.
Yeah.
I have not seen a piano. That's a really cool feature.
To me, this
is like a room that I have feelings it's probably not a new rich person. It's probably old money, but it looks like someone who got rich on the lottery and just bought a bunch of really expensive items off at an auction and stuffed it in a room.
Yep. Totally agree. And
oh my God.
By the way, if you've ever been to England and you've gone to any of their palaces, you've gone through any of the castles that they have or whatever, they all look exactly like this. This is what they look like, and they have the original designs from whatever the 16,
the
17,
tapestries and all that stuff.
Whatever. This is exactly what it looks like. Like this is somebody who straight up decided we are going to basically try to recreate British royalty inside of Houston, Texas.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I can't imagine how much this room cost. I honestly, I couldn't even guess.
This whole house, though, just and apparently there's two kinds of rich. There's I'm rich, but I want to have a virtual golf course in my basement.
Yep.
And there's I'm rich and I want to have every room in my house look like you can't touch it ever.
100%.
So that's what this screams to me right now is.
Yeah.
Do we ever entertain in here? Maybe, but it's only very few people that are allowed in this room, and
100%.
they know that if they break anything, they're on the hook for it. Wow, that's a pretty underwhelming kitchen, by the way.
This is interesting.
That's all
what's happening? What's happening?
What
in this,
on earth?
What is this? What am I looking at here with this thing in the middle? What is this thing in the middle?
You have a 6-burner right there. So I don't see an oven anywhere. That's the smallest sink in the world. Behind it, though, you have that massive in-cabinet refrigerator, 2-door refrigerator. But I'll tell you what, I am not a fan of the hang-down pot thing over the island. I don't like it. I think it looks too busy. I think it takes away from how grand the room is. Kind of like
yeah.
Kind of like your point with the lights over the pool table.
Yeah.
The other thing about this pot hanger is it has weird little lamps that are around it, and one of them is out.
Yeah, one is out in the picture.
Like,
in the
for
picture.
$8 million, I want a working light. You know.
Yeah. Honestly,
this is another example of who decided to include this. Like this is the picture that you're showing of the kitchen. I can't remember if I thought that there was one more, but it's not the next one. Like. This is not
I gotta tell you,
to sell anyone. It makes me worried about what the rest of the kitchen looks like if this is the best one.
I genuinely seriously, I don't know what is this thing that I can see through? Like what is that? Does somebody go in between there, or is that just is that a solid piece
it's
of
a waste of space is what it is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't figure out what it is. It's weird.
Like 2 chairs up there, so maybe people could kids could.
Oh, so it's like
I don't know, but that's what it looks like. But it's still weird.
I don't like it.
Like it's
I don't
not.
like
no,
it.
it is still
I
weird.
like
it's
it.
very enclosed. It's very. I would not want to eat right there.
I could,
especially on a ceiling that's like 18 feet tall. It's a huge ceiling.
I could see entertaining and that being a pass through for drinks. Like you have people preparing stuff and then set up over there. But it's not well done.
No.
And it's weird.
No, and I don't understand how you go from those 2 first rooms that we saw that literally look like they came out of a castle somewhere in France or England, and then we walk into this. You go from 17th century to trying to be 21st century.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's really weird to me.
This is like
this looks like a Phoenix. This looks like a house in. No, this looks like a house in Phoenix that they messed up. That's what it looks like, honestly. Like
they did match their kettle on their stove to their floor.
To their original floor. Yeah.
Yeah, the walk entryway. Yeah, that's fantastic.
That was nice. This room this is
terrible.
This is the other side of that. We can't even. I just go. I can't. Yeah. I don't like this at all. This is I guess a library / office area, huge office, not executed well. Let's put it that way. If you want to have an office, this would be a great office to have. Like you could change this and do a bunch of stuff. Not executed well. At the end of the day, that it is what it is. Like they didn't execute. They just straight up did not execute on this room. So I mean,
I have nothing to add. I'm sorry. This is so unimpressive. Oh my gosh.
But look how big this room is, though.
It's huge.
Look at that's got to be a I don't know what size bed that is. There's a lot of pillows on there. It's definitely not a king. But then look how much room, even with it not being a king, look how much room you have until you hit this fireplace. Yeah. I mean, this is a massive room. Again, another one not executed well, which, by the way, is a recurring theme with rich people houses that we've seen. Is once you get to a certain size room, people have a lot of trouble figuring out what am I supposed to do with it. They struggle with that. It's a problem for them. It's a recurring theme, and it happens everywhere.
The other thing I'm thinking about, if I'm taking a picture of this room, wouldn't you want to include a picture of this really interesting fireplace that is apparently marble and probably one of a kind, and that is not in this picture? And I am confused.
We want to show the bed that looks like nobody can sleep in it. I mean,
100%.
That's what sells this room. Is the small, really ornate but small bed.
That's what's tying it all together.
And go back really quickly. Here's the other thing that's cracking me up. You look around this room, it looks like you got gold men on the fireplace there, like like you would have gargoyles on a building in New York. But then let's look at the $99 Hunter Douglas ceiling fan. Are you joking me with this right now? I mean, this room, you've got also, gold guys on the fireplace.
Also,
and then we've got the Home Depot, Hampton Bay, anyway, sorry.
Can we be very specific about that fan? This room is I don't know, roughly the size of the apartment that I live in.
Yeah.
My apartment has like 7 fans.
Yeah.
Well, this one fan is not going to move air throughout this room. It's just not.
No.
The amount of power that would be required would literally bore a hole through the base floorboards directly under the fan in order to get enough air to spread out to the rest of this room. And that's with a high powered fan. That's with one that costs more than $74.
Yeah.
You just can't. I don't care for that at all. I don't think that's doing anything. It's actively detracting from this room. I agree with everybody.
I mean, seriously, if you put your hands up so you can only see the fan, you're assuming that it's just some random living room in a $500,000 house, and then nope.
100%.
Anyway,
100%.
Stuck on the fan. Sorry.
Oh God, I don't like this at all. My bathroom, I want to feel less cloth. I want less cloth in my bathroom.
Yeah.
It feels like there's cloth on the
I shouldn't have to vacuum a rug in my bathroom.
So
I don't want to vacuum in my bathroom.
Is that this isn't even really the bathroom part? This is literally just the powder room. This is like the
this is where
part. And
we put our jewelry on and all that.
They included.
Yeah. Once again,
I will be honest though, if you were
Lord.
Wow, I don't even care about what I was gonna say. This looks like the Chinese Groman Theater, the Groman Chinese Theater, whatever it's called. That's what this feels like. This feels like where you would go for the Oscars. There's so much red in this room. It's unbelievable. It is. Yeah. I will say I don't like it, but I like the fact that they just leaned into it and they said we're gonna go pure red and we don't care. We are going
commit to red.
Just we're doing
to it.
It's unbelievable. I like that about this. Honestly, I do like that. Not as big a screen as I would have thought.
No.
Yeah.
Very small.
Are you kidding me?
Very small.
Yeah,
screen.
I don't like that at all. I do kind of like the things on the side though. So kind of, and if you can actually walk in and out of those like you would at an old school theater where they draw that's pretty sweet. But yeah, you're gonna build a big room like this, and you're gonna put a 70-inch screen up there.
That's
like best
in the
case back
scenario.
Are like I have no idea what's happening.
I can't see what's happening.
Like if you're watching sports in here, they can't read the bottom line. There's no way you can see what's happening on the bottom line.
They have no idea. So, they're checking their phones. They're checking the ESPN app. 100%.
But the red is, I mean, if you like red, this is
they went for it.
Way to go.
They went for it. So it's what it is.
Oh wow! And then you have this.
This is it.
Okay, so then this is so forget the rest of the house. Oh Lord, there it is. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I will say, I was just gonna say they got fans up top. They got fans, and by the way, I will say one of my favorite things, and I have no idea why. If you have an outdoor walkway on your house, I immediately assume that you're worth $4 or $5 million more than you probably are. Just immediately, I think that's one of the coolest things in the world to have that outdoor walkway. They have those fans. That looks fantastic. They should have done 16 pictures.
The pool sucks though.
Oh, I agree. But they should have just done 16 pictures of this, this back part, because this is awesome. Like from an entertaining standpoint, there's your fountain.
Why do you hide the fountain?
No. You know why? Hold on. Go back to it. Is that? Oh, never mind. I was going to say, I thought it looked a little bit bigger. I was going to say, that's where you actually pull the cars up. That's what I thought, but it's not big enough. So I don't think that's true. But because I was going to say, that actually makes sense. If you're only going to put your fountain where you're going to move the cars around, that's pretty cool.
No.
But that's not what this is.
This is just like off to the side. This is another outdoor space.
Just off to the side. I will say the amount of trees that you get on this property is unbelievable. Like you are, and I'm talking like mature, like you are secluded in this area. So that's pretty cool.
There's a lot of good privacy. And I got to tell you what, I'm with you, Poe. I mean,
the whole thing should just be,
those two pictures of the pool. That's all you should have included.
Or the patio, whatever, backyard, whatever you want to call it. That's fantastic. So that's it. That's Houston, Texas. So now it's choosing time. We've got 2 houses in 2 different cities. We're making one decision, $7.9 million. Chicago, Illinois, Houston, Texas. Where are you dropping your $8 million?
Man, I got to tell you, this one's actually pretty tough for me because there are things about both houses that I really think are outstanding. And then there are things about both houses that I just don't get. The pool room, the bar, the downstairs with the virtual golf, all that, humongous kitchen, outstanding. Then you got the pool, that outdoor area in Houston. I mean, I would live out there. Like, I'm not sure I would ever go inside. But then once I did go inside, I feel like I've got to be wrapped in plastic because I can't touch anything. So I think that's tough, but I think for the kitchen and for just overall feel, this house is just too rich for me, if there's such a thing. I got to go Chicago. That's where I'm going.
I'm going to Chicago. I didn't have to hesitate.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I will say,
your points on the outside were made, but I was just so repulsed by the inside that
it looks like a museum. It literally looks like a museum.
And that's the key. That's the key for this show. This show is not about what city do you want to live in. It's not about what could you do with this house. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you're moving in. Now, you don't have to, you can bring your own tchotchkes and you can do all that stuff. But you're moving into that house. You're not changing
anything else.
You can't renovate. You can't do all of that stuff. So what I will say is that Houston put up more of a fight than I thought it would, honestly, because that Chicago house was nice. The Chicago house really nice. This put up more. But the problem is, even if I come into this Houston house and I strip off, just with my own bare hands, I strip off, some of these tapestries and some of that stuff, I'm still left with something that I'm not in love with. Whereas for me, what really does it with Chicago is it's not a pool, but it was able to match that patio that you have in Chicago, was able to match the outside in Houston, and that from an entertaining standpoint.
Yeah.
And then you just have enough in there. Like you said, you've got this bar, you've got the kitchen that was unbelievable. You have all those things. So there's just enough in there that pushes it over. But I will say Houston put up more of a fight than I thought it would. Especially the second we walked in, I was like, it's over. No thanks. Yeah. And then they sold you at the end. If I'm just free advice for the realtors, put your best pictures first, and then probably just delete the other ones, but definitely put your best pictures first, because that's what I'm looking at. And so they should have just been that pool. That was unbelievable. But that's it. It's another clean sweep for us. Another clean sweep. House Battle, Millionaires Edition. Chicago, Illinois versus Houston, Texas. We're all going Chicago. We're living in downtown. We're becoming Bears fans. It's a real travesty for us sports-wise, but we're making up for it with an unbelievable home. We're loving it. So that's it. If you have questions, comments, other houses you want us to see, other ideas, all that stuff, you can email us. What's the email?
info.housebattle@gmail.com.
All right, so you can hit us up there. You can hit us up on social media as well, whatever. Please tell other people and spread the word and all that. We like doing this. We're going to keep doing it, but it does help us out, so we appreciate it. Otherwise, we will be back next time with 2 more houses in 2 more cities, making 1 more decision. We will see everybody then.